say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
adventure.
You and your adventures. I trust you have not forgotten the true purpose of our voyage?
At last we have come to the land you call the New World. My home. Tural.
There we go. Now you can hear me. I am a welcome in, welcome in. How are we doing? The Dawntrail music is nice, isn't it? Isn't it? It's just such a good vibe in the background, right? I'm also soft. Okay, I can fix that. I can absolutely fix that. Hang on, we don't need to go back to that. Alright. Hard to hear me over the music. Yeah, it's like crashing loud over here. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, game has overtaken me. That's what I was thinking. There we go. How about now? Better now? Better one? Better two? Vacation music, that's all. That's all. Much better. Yeah, that's what happens when we do a new layout, a new setup. It changes up a bunch of my settings. But we all good. We all good. So, all right, everybody. Y'all, it's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. So welcome in, everybody. My name is Wade, a.k.a. Professor Noctis. I am a faculty member at the University of Alabama, where I teach a ton of things. Religion, literature, a little bit of psychology, service learning. I just added that today. That is, I do all of that through video games. So, super duper fun stuff there. Let me change a few settings here. Are you getting a stutter from my camera? You getting a stutter from me? Yeah, I can fix that. I can fix that. Yeah, I can fix that. No worries. I got you. I got you. I'm going to cut out for a second. Yeah. And it'll come back. Now, is that better? It should be much clearer now. It should be a little bit clearer now. Smoother. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. I just have all of these little, like, tinkerings in the background here. And, like, they're always going. The equipment is still hung over from vacation. That's exactly it. So, nice. I'm glad that you like the new overlay. Yeah, I was looking through my Streamlabs stuff, and yeah, I found this crystal thing, and it was like, yeah, that's bang. So you can probably see up here it says intermission. Be right back. Well, it's because they don't have one that simply says just chatting. So we're gonna do intermission, but you know it's just an intermission between gameplay. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that one bit. One bit. Moscow rule number 9: technology will always fail me. And listen, that has been my case as well. Well, listen, everybody. Tonight we are coming in with a focus. We are coming in with a focus, and as you can see, we have Dawntrail up and running, and I've been playing a little bit of Dawntrail. I have not gotten very far in it, but Dawntrail has been released. As you can see, we're going to look for a game to capture, and then there it is. Ta-da. And it is beautiful. It is amazing. I'm not very far in it. What I can tell you thus far, first impressions are super fun. I'm really having a good time with this game, and I really, really like it. The characters are cool. Again, I'm still really early. I don't think I've even fought anything yet. Yeah, the city music is a vibe. Hey, thank you, Taser, for the sub. Appreciate you. But yeah, loving Dawntrail. But tonight, we're not about Dawntrail, but we're about the story leading up to Dawntrail. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do tonight, because it's going to be a really, really great time. We're going to have a great vibe here tonight, and this is the reason why I'm doing all of this. I want to welcome you to the first ever Final Fantasy XIV review session. Now, in my classes, we have review sessions just before an exam, and we're going to continue Dawntrail. We're going to consider Dawntrail our exam. And so we are cramming before the test of Dawntrail. Now, the reason that I'm doing this, I got to be fully transparent. My friends, I am in a free company. I almost called it a guild. I'm in a free company with a bunch of people that skip cutscenes and they do not know what the heck is going on. Whiskers/Evan is one of those people. And so, every now and then they'll ask me a question, who's this guy, or where's this place, or why are we doing all this stuff? And I'm like, well, did we skip the cutscenes? And they're like, yes, because we want to get to the gameplay. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, to a guy that loves the story like me, that is anathema, straight up heresy. But I am here to help you. Because I know, just like my students in my actual classes, you are too busy to do the required reading. You ain't got time for all those cutscenes. You ain't got time for endless dialogue. You don't have time for the voice dialogue, spoken cutscenes, much less the ones that you have to read through copious amounts of dialogue filled with names and syllables that you have absolutely no clue how to pronounce. You don't have time for that. But your boy did. And for the last 12 years, your boy has studied and played all of this stuff. So, I'm here to help. And we're going to have a good time. So we are going to watch a few cutscenes tonight, but I thought it would be more fun for us to just take a nice journey through the world. Okay? I thought it'd be fun for us to revisit some of your own Prof Noctis's little playthrough. Okay? So I'm gonna help you get caught up to speed, because this is my concession. I love Final Fantasy XIV. I love it. I've played it since the day that it came to PlayStation 3. Okay, so I didn't play 1.0, but I watched all the cutscenes, and I can kind of fill you in a little bit on that. I've got some great resources to send your way if you want to get a recap on that. Jesse Cox, fellow content creator, just did an amazing video on the lore of 1.0. I highly, highly, highly suggest. In fact, it is up for an award, like a MMO video award or something like that. So make sure you go check out my buddy Jesse Cox to go and see all of his stuff. So his videos on the lore are absolutely incredible, just really, really good stuff. He too is a teacher, or was a teacher before he became a full-time content creator. Major inspiration to me, to a lot of us. So you're going to get some really good stuff and really cool animations with him. But we are going to go on field trips together, and that's something that can only take place live on stream. I thought about doing a curated video for you guys. I really did. I was like, okay, how can I bring together all of the lore into a nice 10 to 15 minute thing? But you know what? Why would we do that when we can actually venture there ourselves, right? So tonight is going to be all about A Realm Reborn, and what we don't finish tonight, we're going to do on Thursday. But my goal is to just go through it all. A Realm Reborn tonight, Heaven's Word hopefully on Thursday, and then Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and then leading up into Dawntrail. So you're not going to get everything, but my hope is that you're going to get a taste. Okay, a taste of what there is to love about this story. Now, let me also say, for those of you that are avid cutscene watchers, my people, this can also be for you as well, because not only am I going to go through this main story beats, but I'm going to talk about, number one, why I love it, and number two, what sort of things I think about while I was watching these cutscenes, while I was going through the story way back when. Some of the mythological, religious, archaeological underpinnings that go into this. Yeah. So, I mean, you can always tell, like, I love Lies of P, right? I love all the games that I play, but there's always something special about a Final Fantasy game when I get to play it, especially a new one. And so, helping people love the new Final Fantasy game is what I love to do more than anything. Like, my favorite days of the year are when a new Final Fantasy releases. And the fact that we got two this year, Rebirth and Dawntrail, is just like, absolutely amazing. So, That's great. But I want to thank you first and foremost for being here with me tonight. If you are just hopping in, seeing some more people in the chat, my name is Professor Noctis. I teach religion and video games at the University of Alabama, and it's so cool to be able to share my passion for games and religious studies and literature and history with you through this medium. So we're gonna have a good time tonight, everybody. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna maybe learn some things, have some good conversation. So to start us out, I thought it would be cool if we took a step back and we watched the very beginning of this game together. So the opening movie to the game itself, and then the opening movie to A Realm Reborn. Okay, so this is going to be like way back in, what was it, 2012, 2013, something like that, 2012, I think. And so we're going to get into some of that, okay? So I think that it gets a little choppy when I go to the game, actually, you guys. So that may be what is problematic over here. We're going to try to fix it for us, though. We're going to try to fix it. So let's mosey that right over there. Yeah, and it does get a little choppy over there, doesn't it? So I think it's 2010 for the original 1.0, and then 2012, 13 for when it was released on PS3. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, without further ado, why don't we begin with the opening movie, shall we?
Hydaelyn. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the astral eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent astral era, the Northern Empire of Garuda amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dawntrail, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. Years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tired.
It's such a good opener.
Calamity's ruin.
Here's my boy.
The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity.
You stole a fan, Esper? Yeah.
Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in
What a great opener. Oh my gosh. And there's our crystal. Oh my gosh.
May he ever walk
In the
in
light.
the light of the crystal.
You guys, that fires me up. That excites me, right? And then boom. For whatever reason, the Dawntrail opener is what like blows my computer up. Okay, so let's chat about what we just saw for just a minute. Okay, so let's chat for just a second about that. So this opening video, for those of you that are new to Final Fantasy XIV, or you are new to Dawntrail, or skipped cutscenes or whatever, this was the opening, which is essentially a recap of some of the events that took place in what we call 1.0. Now, a little bit of development history. Final Fantasy XIV was originally released in 2010, I believe, on the PC, maybe 2011, on the PC. It was beloved by those that played it, and frustrating for those that tried and did not fully vibe with it. And so it was pretty much it was on its way to complete train wreck failure territory. And though it had a really compelling story, and it was a story of an adventurer you that was meeting up with all of these kind of resistors that were on their way to save the world from this encroaching army, the Garleans and all this kind of stuff. And so some of this stuff is still in A Realm Reborn, but it was a bit more robust and all that kind of stuff because it was the first time. So what the developers did, and this is absolutely amazing, you should Google a few YouTube videos, watch a couple of things like this. When the servers all went down, all of the players that were playing in the game were told it's all going to go down on such and such date, and then there was this like almost ominous message of like it's all going to go down on this particular field, the fields of Cartano. And so people went out to the fields of Cartano, and they didn't know what was happening, but there was a big moon, a big red moon in the sky that just kind of appeared, and they were like, what's happening? And then at the same time, simultaneously, a cutscene came out. Like, and the screen all went to this cutscene, and it was the cutscene of Bahamut being unleashed from this red moon and destroying everything, okay? And like, there's a huge battle, a huge war, and all this stuff, and it's just like this amazing moment where all of the players are like, what's happening? And then at the end of the cutscene, the servers go down. It's like, what just happened to the game, right? If you had not been like into the the development and all that kind of stuff, you're like, what in the world's going on? So to me, that's pretty gutsy of the developers to just like freaking shut it down and say, we are going to relaunch this. Well, the relaunch is what we are recapping tonight. It is called Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, and this game picks up an indeterminate amount of time afterwards. Now, there are going to be certain things that are revealed in later expansions that we are not going to cover or allude to tonight. Okay, so we're going to try to tell the story over the course of several streams as though we're experiencing it for the first time. So some things are going to be subverted later on, and just to be totally transparent about that. So it's kind of like when we played through parts of Rebirth, there's like, you know what, we're not going to really talk about Zack and all that kind of stuff with that we're doing similar things here, okay? So, self-contained Realm Reborn. So with that, why don't we go ahead and watch the Realm Reborn demo and title screen and watch that opening movie. This was the opening screen for Realm Reborn. I'll swap over. And here, this is the cutscene that they were seeing, right? the destruction of the world. And this song, Answers, is one of the best Final Fantasy theme songs. Like, oh my gosh, and it really just makes a recurrence throughout the entire series. Answers, like, becomes, like, powerful in this series. You got it. Thanks, Smith. This is that field I was talking about. How the characters all gathered here to look up. We'll get to know them tonight, don't worry. Jeffrey. Yeah, Lone Story, I don't think it had the latter part of this trailer, but... Oh. Just like, whoo, chills. That is good. Oh, that is good. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Ah, seriously, Smith. Oh my goodness. Esper, that's awesome. Ah, we'll come to this guy in a little bit. The bass effect is really strong here. I mean, if you feel it like thumping in your heart. That may be my sound settings, I don't know, but Ah. So, again, the whole world is destroyed, and then this is the start of A Realm Reborn. How cool is that? What's up, Vanilla? Welcome in. And I'll never get over seeing, like, chocobos riding into battle. That's so cool. So cool. Alright, here's an overview of some of the places that we're going to go to tonight. Some of the primary characters. We're going to remember how we met them. Yeah, Jeffrey, it ended at the face melt. Absolutely. What an ominous way to shut down the servers, too, in 1.0. That is just like the gutsiest move in video games, I think, to say we are shutting this down and we're making it a cutscene event, and then we're going to relaunch. Yeah. Yeah, we're having some trouble doing audio regulation tonight. I'm gonna try to keep it. Ho ho ho! Yeah, it is, lady. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Hey, Racy. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Even a decade later, that still gets me so fired up. So I absolutely love it. Well, let's go ahead and hop into the actual game we're going to go through. So, if you're just hopping in tonight, everybody, welcome in. My name is Professor Noctis. I am faculty at the University of Alabama, where I teach religion and literature and psychology through video games. Tonight, we are doing a review session of Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, where we are recapping the story. It is a 13-year-old story at this point, 14-year-old story, because it came out in 2010 at first, and then relaunched in, I think, 2013. But tonight, we are going to be doing a recap of the first reboot of the game called A Realm Reborn. Now, we're going to watch a few cutscenes, but I'm going to take you to the places because there's no greater lesson than to do it in a field trip. All my teachers in the chat can attest to that. So, this is my guy. His name, if you look at his name carefully, it is Cecil Locke Villiers. Okay, Cecil from Final Fantasy IV, Locke from Final Fantasy VI, Villiers. I think I'm saying that right. It may be Villiers, but it is Snow from Final Fantasy XIII. I know that's a crazy choice, but so we're gonna log in right over here. If you ever want to play with me, chat, I am on. You can see this up here. I am on the Dynamis server, Halicarnassus. So would love for you to friend me, Cecil Locke Villiers, or Villiers. Roll Arcasadora. So, currently I'm playing as a Viper, but it's a very stylish Viper. So I went and bought summer attire. So as you can see, I am currently in the world of Dawntrail, which is a fun, like, vacation vibe. And it's nighttime in Tural over here. We're having a good time. You've yet to open a character on Dynamis? Well, come on. That's where the party is. So, as you can see, I'm going to take care of my chat there. Y'all don't have to see all that. Okay, so, like I said, I was thinking that maybe we could go on a little bit of a field trip. So I'm going to take you back all the way to where I originally began, to a little town called Ul'dah. 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 So let me tell you a little bit about how this story gets started. Okay, so we are in this lovely town. We've got some people. Oh my gosh, we've got a friend over here waiting on us. What's up? This is our friend Esper over here. What's up, Esper? So, continue on the field trip. We have to get out of here first, because I want to take you to the outside. What's up, Catfish? I hid your 365 party girl FC message. I sure did. I sure did. I sure did. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna take you outside to the world beyond really fast, because I want you to see exactly how my journey really started, and then we're gonna kind of deal with it. Oh, you're gonna follow along in real time? Come on, let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. So Esper, here, you want to hop on? You can be my little companion here. Here, I'll invite you to a party. Oh! Hop on side saddle over here. There we go. There we go. Oh! There you go. Can you hop on back? I think you can. There you go. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now, so, everybody, this is the area called Hydaelyn, and the game starts out, I'm going to try to recreate it for you. You ride in to this town in a wagon, okay? And there's an old man that's like talking to you the whole time. And as you're going on, you're met with these two white-haired elven twins that are sleeping. But they don't say anything. You're just hearing about all kinds of things. But you clearly have some kind of memory loss, okay? And, but you're trying to catch up on everything. Anyway, you're coming into this great big city of Ul'dah, okay? Yes, the bike can fly. And that's my little pet chocobo. His name is Alpha. He's the best. Alpha's just vibing with us. So when I first started playing this game, I did not know what to expect. I loved Final Fantasy. I had played the first 13, even 11 a little bit. But I did not know how much I was going to love this game. So it's very much like the Skyrim opening. But anyway, you come in to this town. So tonight, like I said, we begin at the very beginning. So our tale really begins tonight with a mysterious vision that we have. As soon as you begin to walk in, you, the player, have a vision of defeating like this masked, black-robed guy. Okay, you don't know who he is. You just know he seems particularly evil. Okay. Again, my guy's looking really happy-go-lucky right now, but he was not in the very beginning. So you get this wild cutscene of like facing this dark-robed, hooded-looking guy. Now, this sets the stage for the entire adventure. So you awaken in one of three cities. This is my city of choice. This is Ul'dah, as I've told you about. It's kind of a desert village. It is run by a sultana or a sultan, a sultanate, basically. And I don't know, this place feels like home to me, you know? This is just a gorgeous night sky here, but it's your classic sort of desert setup. I remember I was kind of venturing around in this place and just like meeting people and all this kind of stuff. But this game is like, it is meant to be fully immersing. You're meant to like go get lost in towns and all that kind of stuff. So this town particularly is known for trading. It's known for merchants and all kinds of stuff, but there is a seedy underbelly that is in Ul'dah, and it's where merchants are like wheeling and dealing. Exactly, that's exactly it. And they're like backstabbing and all kinds of stuff. But there's a growing resentment to the Sultanate. Okay, so that's some of the political layer that's happening here. But you awaken in one of these three cities, and we'll go visit the other two in a little bit. But the very first thing that you're going to do is you are an adventurer. So you go to a place called the Adventurers Guild. Okay, the Adventurers Guild is where all of the adventurers are going to go. Oddly enough, I know, but it's where they are going to go and meet up to take all kinds of odd jobs, like bounties and mercenary jobs and all that kind of stuff. So in here, you've got this, this was a lot more bustling when this was the current expansion, I guess. But you would come in, go to the inn, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of giving you a lay of the land. I wish it was daytime, because it's a lot prettier during the day. So anyway, you begin to build up your reputation by doing some of these odd jobs. Now, this happens for 15 levels, okay? For the first 15 of 50 levels of this game, you were just going around and like it's DoorDash Clive all over again. You were like running here and there, and there's a few cool story beats every now and then, but for the most part, it is like you are figuring out the controls of this game. You are trying to make sense of all the things that you're doing. People get really burnt out because it is a long tutorial at the very beginning of this thing. But if you hang in there, kind of get through it, and go through all this world building stuff, there's a really, really good payoff. Some of these cities do take a long time to memorize its layout. I still do not know my way around Limsa. Like, that place drives me up the wall. But yeah. So there are a few, let me actually go to the inn really quick, because there are a few things that I do want to make you aware of and to let you see here. So we go over to the innkeep, and I'm sorry that you can't go with me here, Lily, but you can go to your own if you would like there. You know. So to access some of these cutscenes, I'm actually going to go to our unending journey here, and we're going to play just a couple of cutscenes. The way the story goes down, around level 5, you kind of get your first real big quest, where you are journeying out in the desert, and it says that there is a station master that's explaining that he and the Sultan Sworn are searching for Lady Lilira, a young noblewoman who's run away from home. He asks you to search for her in the area to the south near the Sultan Tree. Now, at the Sultan Tree, you find this young runaway along with a sarcastic fellow who seems to know her well. Moments later, a bunch of bad guys, Void Scent, attack, and they force you to work together to protect Lady Lilira. Now, no sooner have you bested these creatures than you are overcome by some strange visions, the meaning of which eludes you. These visions are kind of the catalyst for your place in this whole story, okay? And so these visions that you keep having of things that you don't really understand and stuff, that's like a huge sort of thing. I'm going to try to show you one of these visions right now. I think this is it. Yeah, here we go.
Crystal Bearer.
I love that it looks like I'm on vacation.
I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
So it's almost like a collect-a-thon. Go and collect the crystals. At least that's what it seems to be. Oh, look at that. Ah, very classic Final Fantasy. Even though I am not a very classic character.
Shall the crystals reveal themselves?
Bill and Ted's Realm Reborn. That is what it looks like.
Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
It's giving neighbors. Frat bro, warrior of light. That is what I look like. Like summer frat bro party.
Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation.
The dude, this is Eorzea. So that's the vision, and it's like, whoa, what in the world? So it feels like, okay, maybe I'm not just an ordinary adventurer, and that kind of is the way that it goes for a while. As you continue to fulfill different odd jobs and requests, you start getting comparisons drawn from the people that you're helping to the very famous legendary warrior of light. So it's like, oh man, there was once a guy or girl named that we all called like this warrior of light, and that's pretty amazing that you are like doing these kind of things. You're very reminiscent of this, and so like nobody really understands or has much of a memory of what happened before the Great Destruction or the Calamity, okay? But they know that there was a calamity that happened, but why are they safe? All that kind of, there's all these kinds of mysteries that are kind of abounding, which I think is a really interesting thing. So we're going to continue kind of going down a couple of these cutscene rabbit holes here. I'm going to read just a little bit of this journal entry here where it talks about a guy named Wyston. He's a merchant that's living in a place called Stone's Throw. He's recruiting able-bodied adventurers to protect his team of prospectors. So again, this is a very localized sort of thing. There's nothing world-ending or anything like that. You're just going around doing good. But while you are trying to protect some people, I want you to listen to this. You are confronting a group known as the Brass Blades, and you're interrupted by a mysterious masked mage who unleashes a clay golem or a monster on you. And so then, after you finish fighting this golem, there's a guy named Thancred that shows up. He also kind of helped you a little bit earlier. And I want to introduce you to Thancred really quickly. This actually may be a vision that you get as soon as Thancred... Yeah, let me pull back real quick. So as you defeat... There we go. Let me bounce back. As you defeat these guys, Thancred's going to pop up. This is Thancred. Oh, camera. You're right. So, Thancred shows up. This is Thancred. And as soon as he shows up, you immediately kind of have a vision of the past or the future. And we're going to go directly into that next thing right now. This is that vision, but I wanted you to see Thancred for those of you that don't know him. So you're seeing the streets of Ul'dah. Yes, you can, left or right. And so Thancred here is hitting on people. He's also a bard right now, so he's saying that he'd like to sing them songs. "Oh, stop it," said the mirthful maiden. "I've often heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses." Thancred. But then he overhears of this idea of Amalja hijacking some caravans. And the Amalja have been carrying crystals, or taking crystals. And there's this idea that the Amalja, that we're going to go and meet them in a little bit, they may be summoning what is known as a primal. A primal. So, that's kind of like we begin to see things about Thancred that he has not told us. And so it's like, oh man, what in the world is going on there? So after you get through several more levels of running around and all this kind of stuff, I want us to go to this group right here. Eventually you're going to meet a group that's known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and Thancred is one of these people. And so we're going to introduce them really, really quickly. Because you are getting all of these comparisons to being a warrior of light, you have been given an invitation by Thancred or one of the other Scions to come and join you. Now this young woman is named Tataru. And she is essentially the bookkeeper, the front desk lady of this group known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. She's so tiny. So she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, you're here at the behest of Thancred. He invited you. Amazing. We love that guy. My sincerest apologies. Can I have your name? So I tell her my name. She's like, you look like a Sigma Chi on spring break. Here you are. You are invited. Come on in. So again, like, this is just like at the house. It's like, you're not on the list. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands headquarters of the Scions. So it's like, come on in. We love her. I really tried to make him as handsome as possible, you know, like that was really the goal. So we go on in, and here we are.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minthelia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have awaited your coming.
Surprise, voice acting. No more prof imitations.
Please, be at ease. You are among friends here.
These are our friends for the next decade. I love that Thancred awkwardly waves.
No doubt you are right to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time.
You're like, I'm just an adventurer. I didn't know.
Let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do.
Oh.
We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large, and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose.
Okay, so here we get the key conflict. The Scions versus these Primals. They're concerned about this.
Like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness?
Only like all the time.
Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality?
Every moment.
Felt as though you were hovering in space, a mind without a body?
And talking to a crystal, yes.
All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo. The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past.
That's what we did to
You will be there in his memories
Thancred.
and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events.
Pretty useful.
For another blessing, the echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I too possess the echo.
Twins.
With that established, let us return to the subject of the primals.
Yes.
So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, the Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm.
Okay, so just to recap really quick for us all. She's saying a lot of words here, and I totally understand. We've got all kinds of stuff, the echo, all this stuff. Basically, you have this ability to interact and to see and experience memories and events through people around you. But it only happens when you are blessed with this like opportunity to use it. Okay, so like when you were around Thancred, when I was around Thancred earlier, because he was my dude, it's different if you start in a different city, but this is the city I started in, Ul'dah, and I was able to experience what Thancred had gone through. Okay, and like you as the player have no idea what's going on. All you know is like something weird's going on. Minfilia is the first one to give some voice. It's called the Echo. It's a blessing from Hydaelyn, and it's something that you are able to utilize in order to preserve the safety of the star or of the planet. Okay, so that's kind of an important thing. I want to do a little bit of a roll call here. You've already met Minfilia. She is in the pink right here in the very front. You can't really see or understand how her clothes abide by physics, but that's one of the themes of the Scions. Their clothes defy physics, as we'll see with Ida over here on the far right. Her shorts are not connected. It's magical. It's really confusing. But let's start over here on the far right. You've got the girl in the mask and the helmet. Her name is Ida, and she and her friend Papalimo, who's the little guy standing directly next to me, the frat guy, they are the Scions that were sent to Gridania. We're going to go to Gridania in just a little bit. But these two, they're really fun. They're a great pairing, all that kind of stuff. To the far left over here, you've already met Thancred. Thancred is the Scion sent to Ul'dah. That's why he's my boy. He was the one that I met first. And we're awesome. We're tight. We're bros. Then directly between us is, I think everybody's like favorite. Her name is Y'shtola, and she is so good. She's a very, very powerful mage, and she is at Limsa Lominsa, or as some of my friends and I call it, Ligma Lominsa. But that is just how it is. I don't love that town, but we will go there very, very shortly. So this is the crew that we all have, okay? Y'shtola, Thancred, Papalimo, Ida, and Minfilia. Now, I joined the Scions, you joined the Scions, the Warrior of Light joins the Scions of the 7th Dawn, and we agree we're going to use the Echo to help. Now, as we have been freshly inducted into the Scions, you, the adventurer, and Thancred are off on a mission. You have to investigate these abductions and crystal thefts by the Amalja tribe. Okay, so let's go meet some Amalja. Urianger is there. He is there. We'll come back to him later. He's a tall elf that was standing in the background, but not really in the shot, right? So, yeah, absolutely amazing. So let's go visit the Amalja. Urianger exists, you know. We'll come back to him. He's a really big character, but right now he's kind of like mysterious and dark and out there. So, okay, why don't we go over to Little Alamigo, and I will show you the Amaljas. Whoa, okay, after a quick... Let's get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to take you to a nice little place right over here so that you can see what an Amalja is, and we can imagine what they used to do. Here they are. So everybody, this is what an Amalja looks like. They are big old brutes, very strong, and sometimes very angry, okay? And this is their music, and it's awesome. So these are friendly ones. But one of the things that that the Amalja were doing at this point in the story is that they were ransacking some caravans that were carrying crystals, stealing those crystals because they wanted to use the crystals to summon a primal Ifrit. Now, you may know Ifrit from all the other Final Fantasy games. Come to me, Ifrit, all that kind of stuff. So they, Thancred and you, are sneaking into camps and all this stuff. Turns out they summon Ifrit, and you have to fight Ifrit and basically block him from gaining full power and all this kind of stuff. So be respectful and button your shirt. No, the chest cannot be denied. It must be shown. So you thwart the plans to bring Ifrit into the world and all this kind of stuff. So you kind of are able to thwart the plan of unleashing this primal. At this point, people begin to hear about how great you are. All three of the major city-states, meaning Ul'dah is like, oh my gosh, Cecil needs to be on our side, and then Gridania is like, we need him on our side, and Limsa Laminsa, I can never say that. They're like, we've got to get him in our army too. So you get courted all over the place. I've already taken you to Ul'dah. Let's go over to Gridania. Limsa Laminsa. Oh, there's a party in Gridania right now, everybody. There's a lot of people here. But Gridania is kind of like Lord of the Rings Hobbit land, okay? It's like the Shire, okay? It's really nice if you like grass and gardens and forests, okay? And who doesn't love those things? It's mostly peaceful, except for this girl that wants to fight. I don't really know what her deal is, but she's not trying to fight me, so we're going to keep on going. Anyway, they're very peaceful people for the most part. They're ruled by an elder seed seer, is what they call her. Her name is Kan Senna. We'll talk to her in just a little bit. But anyway, their army wants to bring us into their ranks. And we get to go tour all of the armies. So we've been to Gridania now. Now we're going to go over to Limsa. Picto is definitely bringing a lot of people over here. Bards are always at the Aetheryte Plaza. They're always playing their music. Yeah, that's true. Now, Limsa Laminsa, similarly, is a big pirate land. It's got pretty epic music, but as you can see, it is on the sea over here. Let's see if we can just go. Yeah, there we go. This is old Limsa Laminsa, okay? Everybody's AFK in Laminsa. Notice the spiraling pathways that are easy to get lost on all over the place. This place reeks of fish, that's true. So, it's nice. It is a maze. What I've found, though, is that most people's favorite place is the place that they call home. So Ul'dah was my home, and that's like my favorite place. So that's it. And you can just see, like, this is all the stuff here. This is somebody in their Red Panda. Yeah, I don't know who they are. This stream feels like the prof who teaches Lord of the Rings in the Lord of the Rings online. Oh man, maybe that's what this could be. Ul'dah and Limsa are both mazes to a new player. That's true. Gridania is probably the easiest to move around, I'll say, but I just have better memories at Ul'dah. So, that's true. So anyway, it's just like built into these like nice sea rocks. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a nice little place. Where's the inn? I can never remember. I think it's up one. Yeah, the Drowning Winch. We're gonna go up there. The Garnet minion. Yeah, she's running. Yeah, I'm not gonna bash any place, but like Ul'dah, best da. You know what I'm saying? Okay, dadgummit. Where's the? I'm already flipping lost. I don't need the proprietor. I need the innkeeper. Where's the innkeeper? Where's my Limsa people at? I need to go to the inn. Is it another one up? Or is it down? Let me look at my map. How about that? That'd be fun. Oh, it's like right over there. I just missed it. Oh, you're here, like in this corner. Gotcha. Next to the smith. Yeah, silly me. We're gonna go to our inn room because we've got a few other cutscenes to do. So, So you have all of these like nice little meetings with the armies and all that stuff, and you get to choose which one you want to be a part of because you got to choose an army, right? You got to choose where you want to be in the world. And so yeah, we'll just kind of read through some here. I ended up, oddly enough, choosing the Limsa Maelstrom stuff. I felt captivated by their riveting speeches, and so I was like, okay, Limsa, you got it. Even though you know my home is in Ul'dah, I've defected to the pirates. So, so for me personally, it was like, okay, I'm from this place, but I'm going to serve you guys because like I like the water and you have decent music, and they gave a riveting speech. So that was pretty much it. So I was sworn into the service of Limsa Lominsa's Grand Company, and then I get my first, or I guess my second real mission. And so we're gonna watch some of this here.
Now, having set aside the formalities
of joining the army and getting to know everyone,
we have a favor to ask of you. Eorzea, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
Now everyone, this is our friend Eorzea. He is kind of like an informant, but he's also very secretive, and we don't know much about him yet. We will.
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder.
That's Gridania.
Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Which explains why she would turn to Papalimo and Ida, because they're the informants from Gridania. You with me, everybody? Because they're starting to use some proper nouns that we're just not going to be able to follow if we don't understand these things. So, the Baldesians Baldesian shout out, yep. We'll get to them eventually.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
And this is kind of how this game works, right? It's like, oh, we've heard some things about a realm. Scions from that realm, why don't you tell us what the problem is? And so Ida and Papalimo are like, we know the problem. We've got these little things called sylphs. They're like little fairy-looking things, but not really. They're like vegetable fairies. If a fairy could be a vegetable, that's what a sylph is. And so they're like, they've got some problems. And so that's the way, the rhythm of this game. Something's going down in a nation. The Scions are going to let us know what that is, and then we go and take care of it. Make sense?
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramuh.
Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor. conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramuh's existence is well documented, the sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained, until such time as we know. It would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible.
Okay,
Words
so
and actions
the
can be misconstrued.
idea here is
The only-
we have to go and talk to the sylphs and figure out what's going on here as far as like you're wanting to summon Ramuh, are you wanting to like what's going on here, because that's kind of a danger because that's a primal, you know. Now before you head out, I've failed to mention one quick thing that I want to make sure that we get into. When you get inducted into the free company, you also, let me see if I can find that one thing. I think it may be right here, perhaps. Let's just see. I want to show you the induction ceremony because some things happen. Oop, not here. I think it may be just before that. Because we get to meet our two friends over here.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Oh, this was the speech that convinced me to become a pirate.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
Now, this is a name that you might ordinarily gloss over, like one of the Old Testament biblical names or something like that. Just like going through and like, oh my gosh. This is Merlwyb. She is like in charge of the pirate people, okay? So, Merlwyb is awesome.
Have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Yeah, so again, Merlwyb is awesome. I guess I should introduce you to all of the people. So that was Limsa. Let's talk about Gridania, I think. Is this Gridania or is this Ul'dah? Oh no, we've got all kinds of things happening here. These Wonder Twins, they were the ones that were riding with us in the boat. Maybe we should just like skim through all of these real quick. Oh, Minfilia tells us we need to go to all of the places. Sorry. 4 is Gridania, and then 2 should be Ul'dah. Okay, so we're going to go to Ul'dah first. I need you to understand some of these people. Oh, undoubtedly Jesse does.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanimal herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Okay, so here is the guy in charge of the army in Ul'dah. His name is Rauban. He is one of the chief protectors, also of the Sultana, who is just next to him, right down here.
Hurrah! Rauban! where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ur dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold.
Okay, so he goes on like that for a good deal longer. And now let's go to, you said Forest Gridania. Yeah, let's watch some Gridania real quick, because we need to meet these people too.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three seed seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelves Wood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest.
Okay, remember Hobbitland? This is the one that kind of governs that area. Her name is Kan-e-Senna. Okay, so that's really all we need to know there. There's one part that I am kind of looking for. I think it may be 8. I'm not entirely sure about it. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. After all of these grand companies have come together,
grand company our adventurer friend will keep.
Before I choose which one, these two twins are talking about me, but they've got their eye on me. So, their names are Alphino and Alice.
The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and 7th Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None.
It is,
I
Esper.
suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alice, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain.
Yeah, Alphino has
So,
had an
the task of
amazing
salving
character
Eorzea's
development.
wounds falls to the Scions of the 7th Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I need to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
So,
My lady!
We are to escort you!
these two characters are awesome eventually. Right now, they kind of suck. And I remember like playing through and I was like, God, why are these twins just being terrible? And that's kind of the point of this part of the story, but that's the introduction really of Alphino and Alice as you get to know them during this sequence of quests. So, sub, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. So next we move into a couple of other things. We've talked a little bit about the Sylph already. The next mission is to go and stop the Sylph from going into summoning Ramuh. So you go down there and you do that. It's just south of Gridania. And you're able to see a little bit. I'm going to read some of this. It says that you, fleeing from Garlean soldiers, the Sylph Elder Phrixio has ventured into the 1,000 maws of Toto Rock. Now, that's a lot of words that you don't know. Garlean soldiers. Do you remember earlier on when I talked about the Imperials, and we saw them in some of the opening cutscenes? The Imperials are like the big bad guy during all of this. Yes, we've got the Primals, but we also have this like human force that is like overtaking the world with technology, and they've got a bit of a resentment of some of the magic users and those blessed by the gods, or the goddess rather. Yeah, this is a full recap. I mean, we're going through as much as possible. So you run down and you're going to talk to the Sylph. I'm going to show you a quick cutscene with some of these Sylph that you meet, just so you get an idea of what these things are. Like we said, they're Cabbage Patch fairies, right? They're the little lettuce people. So they also don't use like pronouns like I and he and them. It's always this one and that one and these ones. Yeah. A floating gazelle green. That is kind of what it is, isn't it? So again, I just wanted to give you a little bit of what they are, what they kind of look like. They end up not summoning Ramuh, at least yet. And you are like continuing to help them. But you've made friends with them. So like that's good. So you come back from your field trip down there, and this is when things start to get really kind of interesting to me. So, it says that you run into the Waking Sands, and Minfilia is going to greet you, but she is a little frightened. So we're going to watch some of this scene play out. I like the stuff with these characters. Like, this is where A Realm Reborn really shines. So, we tell her that Ramuh is not being summoned, and we're feeling okay about everything. Alphino, though, has come to visit the Scions. He's been working with Thancred on their own kind of mission. Biggs and Wedge in the back. Yeah, we haven't really talked about them, but they are also there. So Alphino and Alize have parted ways, but Alphino is joining up with the Scions at this point. Just going to give you a little bit of a recap going through here. Now, Alphino is like agreeable to the Scions, but he's not really working with them at this point. And so it's like, well, what is he doing and who is he and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't fully trust him throughout this. So, at the end of this conversation, Minfilia is going to say, we have heard a whole other thing that's like going on out around Limsa Lumensa. And so she's going to dispatch us to go stop another group known as the Kobolds. They're almost like nice little rats for the most part, until they're not nice. But they're like rodent looking type people. Anyway, the Kobolds are trying to summon Titan. Now, you may be asking, why are people trying to do all of this summoning? Why are all these groups trying to do all this summoning? Well, it's essentially like, in some ways, Game of Thrones. And these summons are giving them a little bit of an advantage over some of the other city-states and warring factions. So that's part of why you may want to. But it's also kind of an act of worship. It's these are godlike, deity-like things. And so they're also trying to do their their master's bidding to some degree. So there's all kinds of religious sort of stuff coming in here, as well as some Final Fantasy 16 stuff. Can we use these primals to decimate our enemies? That sort of thing. So that's what's kind of going on. Anyway, we are dispatched to go over to deal with Titan. Now, this next part is where many of our friends that have played through A Realm Reborn give up. I'm going to be real honest with you, because I think that they fixed some of the questing thing. But back in the day, there was like a series of fetch quests that was like one of the longest, most sluggish, tedious, laborious segments of this entire game. It was really, really tough to get through. Not tough as in like hard, but it was like difficult gameplay wise. It was just it was a slog through and through. But once you get through this area, once the wine sequence, the carrying boxes here and there, but once you get through that sequence, once you get through it, it really is one of the cooler things. One of the cooler things that's like in it. Let's see if I can do, yeah. So I want to show you Titan really quick. You eventually do get to fight Titan the way that you fought Ifrit. And again, Frat Guy goes in to fight Titan. These are the kobolds. And so they've put on armor. And like I said, they're little rodent-like things. Yeah, this part really, really did filter a lot of people out. So here they summon Titan. Titan looks very different than in other... Yeah. But it's kind of cool that he just like comes together through these rocks. I think it's really neat. It's banger music, yeah. Tempering, yes. Tempering. There's a lot to be said about tempering and like Barnabas Odin from Final Fantasy 16 as well. There's a definite comparison to be made there. Okay, so you defeat Titan. And after you defeat Titan, this is the part of A Realm Reborn. After like, how many levels was this? 30 levels. This is where I freaking love this game. Okay, 34. Maybe 35. Yeah, 34. You guys... This is where the story kicks it up a notch. And this is what I abso-freaking-lutely love. It is so good. Let me see if it's this cutscene. So you return to the Waking Sands to go visit your friends, the Scions. And you find this little cabbage that's having a bad day. She says, this one is glad, walking one is safe. But as soon as you walk in, you notice there are dead bodies all over your hideout. And so here you get the echo and you get to recall what happened.
We'll be awaiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed.
And again, her clothes still defy physics in a lot of ways.
Thank heavens he is safe. Louisoire, do you see? Your light shines brightly in this one, and in time, it will illuminate the realm once more. Oh!
Advance no further.
This is a Garlean, by the way. One of the Imperials.
come for the one who slayed Ifrit and Titan.
Yeah, good call
Bring
back,
him
Esper.
forth,
Yeah.
or you shall know no mercy.
Did you lose me?
Confound it. Stay out of sight. I would leave a message with you.
Are you with me? Uh-oh.
I surrender myself on the condition you spare
Oh
the innocents.
no! Are you with me, friends? The stream has been tempered. Are we alive? Are we still here? Hello? Oh, we're back? Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, so we're back. We're back. Okay, so. Whew. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. Let's keep going, though. So the Imperials come in, and, yeah, bad times, right? People are dying up in here, turns out.
Conditions. There speaks the Supreme Scion. I'll grant you have courage, but you would be better served by armor.
Search all you will. The one you seek is not here.
So it would seem.
And yet you knew to look here. But how?
But how?
Hold that thought.
A brave little cabbage.
No!
You can't.
Conditions of surrender denied.
Cease at once!
Ah, I forgot
Not done enough?
how, like, brutal some of this was.
Perhaps. Enough. We must away.
Wild.
Though we have not found our quarry, the High Priestess of the Scions should suffice for now. They say she also possesses the Echo. I cannot wait to hear her scream. I said enough! We leave. Bring the prisoners.
All right, so they ransack the hideout, right? And after they ransack the hideout, they perform some funeral rites for those that have died in the Waking Sands. But after the funeral, Alphino, who is there, recruits you to rebuild the Scions anew. Because the thought is everybody's dead, everybody's scattered. We don't know if Minfilia is going to make it out alive, so we've got to begin rebuilding this stuff. And so Alphino is like, we're going to do this. So he recruits you, he's going to rebuild the Scions and defeat this newly summoned primal named Garuda, because they've now heard up in the north in an area called Kurthus, there's a new primal that is being summoned by a group of lizardy type people known as the Exal. So your next task is to go up north to Kurthus. Now Kurthus is awesome. Kurthus has some of the best banger music that you will ever experience. In fact, why don't we go on up to Kurthus so that we can hear some banger music, shall we? Where's, like, good old Kurthus? I want the, like, the old school Kurthus. Maybe it's Camp Dragonhead? I think it may be Camp Dragonhead. I'm thinking of. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Camp Dragonhead. Yeah, this is good stuff. So, when you first come out to, this is a very, very different vibe than the places that we've been in the past. Oh man, I gotta get rid of this music real quick. Because we gotta hear the, like... Oh man. I want... play music when mounted. There we go. There we go. Ah, the camera. Thank you, lady. You're like my camera reminder. So, very snowy. This music is just so good, right? Oh, can it really? Oh man, that's good to know, Crazy Doc. So, in coming to Kurthus, you're braving these wintry winds, absolute horrors. And you're coming to these very European-style castle strongholds. You know? You got these guys that are taking the polar plunge here. That's fun. Now, before you go up to Kurthus, you do meet, or on your way to Kurthus, you are, you find a guy who you will eventually know as Sid, but Sid has lost his memory. And he doesn't even really know who he is, but Alphino and others begin to recognize him. And so, let me get back on the path here. Alphino and others recognize him. Oh, this is an exile, by the way. These guys, these lizard guys. Yeah. Oh, and there's our other party member. Yep. And so part of your thing is like you've got to remind Sid of essentially who he is. That he is an airship engineer, and we've got to go find his airship. But he doesn't remember where it crashed, all this stuff. So you come up to Kurthus, and let's go ahead and find our inn. So we're going to go to... We won't go up there yet, but we can stop back in New Gridania now. I just wanted you to hear some of this stuff. But we got to go back to our diary. Don't fall into witch drop. Yeah, for real. I did so many fates in this area too. It was madness. Oh, and it's raining out in Gridania. We love that. Am I like going the right way? Yeah. I just wanted you to hear the cool Heavensward music. Or not Heavensward, the Kurthus music. It's good stuff.